Hey guys, it is Super Bowl time, and I think we need to get some appetizers started. And the appetizers I'm doing this evening are very simple and easy to do. So let's get this started. So give me just a minute. Alright guys, here we go. Okay, first of all, I'm making Lil-Smokies, or they're bacon wrapped Lil-Smokies with the brown sugar topping on them. And there's the Lil-Smokies. These are the beef Lil-Smokies. That's what I buy. And then they take right about a pound of bacon, depending on how many Smokies that you're fixing. And I didn't want to fix a whole lot because it's just me and my husband. So I'm just going to do, I don't know, there's probably 20 or so there. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this started. And I'll tell you, it takes 1 cup of packed brown sugar, which I have in there already. And when I go to sprinkle this on top of these, I'm not going to load it, but I am going to put enough on so it can caramelize. So first of all, I'm using a smaller baking dish. I found that using a smaller baking dish doing this makes these a lot better, just because they're kind of crowded in there, and it keeps the brown sugar kind of more on top, and it all just don't drizzle down to the bottom of your baking dish. So I'm just going to use a little small one, and I've got one Smoky in here already started. And I just basically take the little Smoky, and some of y'all may already know how to do this, but I take a little Smoky and I wrap it in a piece of bacon. And I cut my bacon into thirds. And then I just take my little Smoky and I lay it down in my baking dish. You don't have to spray it with cooking spray or do anything like that with it. So that's what we're going to do. So this is not going to take long to do, and it's pretty easy and simple, and that's what I wanted. And anytime you, do appetizers or whatever, they're not hard to do. They're usually all pretty simple. And I made a pot of beef stew, and that video is coming soon, so stay tuned for my beef stew video also. Okay, so let's do this. So here's our bacon. You need your oven on 350 degrees. Now, these take anywhere between 40 to 50 minutes to bake. You just have to keep an eye on them. Okay, guys, here we go. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get this a little Smoky. And all we're going to do is get a piece of bacon that's cut into thirds. And you need to use the thin bacon for this, guys. Don't use the thick bacon, because it won't do as good. So all I do is I take my piece of bacon, I lay it down on my cutting board like this. I take my Smoky and take the end of it, and all you got to do is wrap them up and just keep rolling until you get all that, till you get your Smoky covered somewhat. Something like that is what you want. There's a little bit sticking out on this end, but that's not going to hurt anything. You can pull your bacon up a little bit if you need to. And then I'm just going to lay it down in my baking dish. But now you want to lay this seam side. The seam is right here, and you want to lay that seam side down in your baking dish. So just kind of lay them together. They need to be touching. So just sort of make sure you do that. All right. Get another piece of bacon. This is all we're going to do, guys. We're just going to roll these Smokies up. And these is going to be so good. Alright, let's just roll them on up. Then we'll put him seam side down. Do another one. I'm sure y'all have got the idea. But I'm sure most y'all already know how to do this. So. Now, guys, if you can, let these sit in the refrigerator for maybe an hour or two, because the longer you leave them sit in your refrigerator, the better they are. If you can do that. If you can't, you're in a hurry, you just want to get them done, you can go ahead and bake them. It's not going to hurt anything. And it may not taste as good because they didn't sit and kind of marinate beforehand, but I'm sure they'll be good. All right, we're just going to roll it up. Keep in the pan here. The other ones, I'm gonna push them over. How about I move this over, guys? You know I'm putting them in there side by side. Let me move this over so y'all can see a little bit better. At least like for y'all to see what I'm doing and not be so far away. We'll kill two birds with one stone, right? Okay, there's that one. And get him in the bacon dish. Move bacon over a little bit, guys. Okay. They don't have to be rolled even. You don't have to worry about that. So don't let that bother you, y'all. Just roll them up. That's all you got to do. Sometimes I'll tuck my bacon a little bit in. But I do like to try to cover them up completely if I can get them that way. But sometimes I can't. Well, I hope y'all are having a good evening. Watching the Super Bowl. Alright, well, let's start down this end. The bacon sometimes isn't always perfect about, being straight for you to roll it. So I just do the best I can with it, y'all. That's all I do. Some of them I tuck a little bit. Alright, there's that one. Seam side down. And I'll show you these when I get done with them, guys. Alright, let's get us another lid to Smoky. Roll him up as well. Put that bacon in there since this piece of bacon's pretty thin. I'm not sure if I'm going to need to put another piece over him or not. I think he'll be alright. Listen at me calling him him. Lord have mercy. I guess I talk to my food, guys. I'm sure some of you all do the same, but I will tell you something. Usually I leave my bacon a little froze, and I did not this evening because we had to go out to make a quick trip to Lowe's. So I went ahead and stuck it in the refrigerator, and it thawed out on me when I was gone. So, but if you can leave your bacon partially frozen, it's the best way to do this. It's much easier to work with, y'all. Alright, I'm just going to pull that bacon up around him. There we go. Okay. Kind of push that in. Get that seam side down in the bacon dish. Okay. And it's just us, so I tell you, we're not going to eat a big amount of these, so I'm just doing so many. And most recipes out there call for 14 ounce, 24 ounce, or whatever. But this was a 24 ounce package, but I only took out so many. Because there's no way we'd eat all those. I mean, we probably would over a couple days maybe, but I decided no, let's just freeze the rest and we'll have them left over another time for something else. The last one, so we're going to stick him in there, push him down in there with the others. Now we got a full pan of bacon wrapped Smokies. Let me wash my hands. Okay guys, let's go ahead and get our brown sugar sprinkled on these. We have 27 Smokies. So anyway, this is up to you all how much brown sugar you want to use. I just put a cup in here, and I know that's a little bit too much, but I can always put some back. So, just as long as it's not got anything in it, I can always put it back in the bag. So, my hands are clean. I just washed them. So, what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to take our bacon wrapped Smokies, and what we're going to do is we're going to put some brown sugar over these. And they will be delicious. And it kind of caramelizes, guys, with the bacon and everything. So I'm just going to take my fingers and I'm just going to sprinkle some brown sugar on the tops. I mean, don't get me wrong when I said earlier about they don't go to the bottom. There's going to be some brown sugar go to the bottom, of course. But it's not all going to be only on the bottom. You know, the bigger the pan, the more, if it's big like that, it can seep through a lot easier than if you've got it in a small little pan like this. So, I just don't like using a lot of brown sugar on things. I don't want to overindulge in my sugar, but we've got to have some, guys. So I think that's plenty right there. So we did not use nowhere near a cup of brown sugar. That might have been, I'm going to venture to say maybe a third a cup. No, a fourth of a cup. That's all that was, guys, if it was even that much. So, what I do is I just sort of let my husband look at it before I put it in the oven, and if he thinks that's enough, then we'll go with that, because, you know, he's going to be eating it too, and I don't want it to be too sugary, because he may not like it that way, you know, so he may not like it like I do. He's not as big sweet person as I am. So, anyway, let me get my hands washed off, guys. Alright, guys, so we're going to go ahead and put this in the oven. Like I said, you need your oven on 350 degrees. They take 40 to 50 minutes to bake, but you do need to keep a close eye on them. Just you know, peek in every now and then and make sure they're cooking okay. You don't need to turn them. You don't need to do anything. You just put them in there like they are, just like that. You don't even need to cover them. It's something very, very easy to make, and it's very delicious. So anyway, I'm going to bake these, and when they come out, I will let y'all know what they look like. So I'll be back in just a few. Our bacon wrap Lil-Smokies are done, and they're out of the oven, and the bacon is good and brown and kind of crisp. So they took right about maybe 55 minutes. I let mine bake for almost an hour just so I could get my bacon a little more crispy. So that would probably be a better idea, just so you can get your bacon a little crispier. Because if you don't, your bacon is not as crispy, I don't think. So anyway, that is them, and they look delicious, and they're going to be delicious, and my husband's already had a couple out of it, and he said they're really good. So, anyway, I hope you all have enjoyed this the Super Bowl appetizer video that I made. And if y'all don't mind to share it, I'd appreciate it. If you don't mind to go over to Cheryl K's Cooking Diaries on Facebook and like and follow, I would appreciate that. And go over to my YouTube channel and like and subscribe and share. So anyway, guys, listen, I hope you've enjoyed this tonight, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening, and I hope you all enjoy the game. So anyway, y'all stay safe out there, and always remember to keep God in your heart and God in your life. Bye.